Good morning, Kitchen Witches. This is your tarot and menu inspiration for the day. I'm Chef Lisa, editor-in-chief of A Chef's Grimoire magazine. All of the information is in the show notes if you're interested. And we're going to pull one card that is going to be everything we need to know to look out for the day. And then that card is going to plan our menu for us as well. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So get this all shuffled, see what we've got. Ready? The moon. The moon. Okay, so our moon is numbered 18. And in numerology, when you have double digits, you take them, you add them, and you reduce them to a single number. So the moon, 1 plus 8 for 18 equals 9, right? Who's 9? The Hermit. So the moon is very much about subconscious, right? And the Hermit goes inward to their subconscious to wait for the downloads before they can go back out to the collective and let everybody know, right? So this is the state that is kind of hermited, so to speak, because the two cards are related in that plane, right? Where the Hermit goes to subconscious, this is all about the subconscious. It's depicted obviously with the moon first and foremost. There's two towers that it is rising between. There is a pathway that just extends forever, right? So it's a continuous cycle of going forward, right? Not going backwards, going forward onto the path. Guarding the path are a wolf and a dog. So like-minded, likeness, but completely different. There's also a crayfish or lobster coming out of the depths of the water, creating a ripple effect, right? So these are things that in the daylight, like the dog in the daylight, everybody loves a dog, right? But at night, that dog is a wolf or a coyote, right? And we're all scared of those. So the difference between what we can see and what we can't see. The two towers are if you're in a state of conscious worry or conscious thinking things are suspicion or things that you, like when you're in the moonlight, everything is beautiful, right? All the romance stories, everybody's on a gondola in the moonlight, right? It's great. But the moonlight never really gives you a clear picture of what's going on. It's like rose-colored glasses. So if you're constantly in that state, sometimes you may think that you don't have the clarity you need to make decisions. You don't have the clarity you need to trust, right? And that kind of locks you in a tower. It kind of locks you up. So with the moon rising and all of these little yellow droplets are yods, right? Yods is like the finger of God, so falling from the sky. And it's just very symbolic, this card, of just things that you think you see clearly, but you really don't. So we all have moon moments, all of us, right? We think we know, and then we find out we don't. So those, or we think one way and we don't have an open mind to accept sunlight coming in to bring what we think is be all and end all into a clear state to see where the cracks are, right? So it's a major arcana, which means it's deep. It's a heavy meaning on this card. But when we get the moon card in any spread, it's a reminder that we have to look at the cards around it for clarification of what's going on. Like if I got the moon card as a career or a career choice, well, you know, maybe I should really take a time out to really think about, is that the career choice that would do me the best, right? That would be best for me. Others may think, okay, if you get the moon card for career, it could be, well, you're doing things that are more esoteric, like myself, you know, doing these tarot readings for you. That falls within the moon realm, because it's not a doctor, you know, a dentist, I don't know, computer analyst. You know what I mean? It's esoteric. It's kind of beyond the veil, but in the tangible plane, and it's not first and foremost what people see. It's actually underneath, right? It's the crayfish coming out of the water. They're there. They live there. We never see them, but this little guy's coming up to remind you that there's stuff under the water that should be paid attention to, that should be brought to the light every once in a while to make sure it's clear and you understand it, and then it can go back to the depths from where it came, and it's not so, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not so scary, right? You bring it to the surface, you sit with it a while, you understand it, and then you could put it back from whence it came, but you know it's there, and you're okay with it. So it's bringing up all those emotions, all those fears. Yeah, the moon is a very special card, and it's something that we should, in bringing it into today, think about, right? Think about, you know, limiting beliefs that you have. Why do you have them? Maybe you keep telling yourself you're not good enough to do one thing that you really, really want to do. Well, why are you not good enough? Why are you not good, but that person is? Why? You know, there's no, what you do is what you do. And if you do it, if somebody else is doing it, it doesn't matter, because they're doing it the way they like to do it. Or maybe they're copying somebody, and that's rocky territory, right? Because if it's not your own, it's not worth putting out there. But if you really have a passion, say, I mean, the most saturated creative effort in the world is like making jewelry, right? Everybody makes jewelry. You go to craft fairs, there's like 50 jewelry artists, and there's like maybe one or two doing something else. So but what I'm saying is, you still stop at each booth and look at the jewelry, don't you? I do. Because it's all different. This person is doing it completely different than that person. Now, that person's tastes might not be mine, so I'm going to move on, right? But that person's tastes are, and they're still in the jewelry business, right? They're still making jewelry with 50,000 others. But it's finding that clarity on what you do and what brings passion and fire to you that is going to shine the light in those dark moments, right? In those scary moments of thinking I'm not good enough, or I can't see clearly, so I don't have the answers. Well, if that's the case, then you have to bring in some of the hermit energy and maybe go internal and think. Have a moment where you can just be in your own mind, be in your own coveted place to rest, recoup, and get your downloads so that you're clear as day when you come out of the darkness, right? Just like the little crayfish or lobster. We don't know what he is. He knows what he is, but we don't. We could assume. So that's it, right? Just what is limiting you? What's locking you in the tower? What is the light shining, illuminating, but is not clear that you can bring into the sunlight, feel good about it, and get clarity on? Yeah. So now, that is the reading, but what about making meals with this card? Well, I'm thinking we can romance the moment, right? So going back to the whole moonlight is romantic. It is. But just know that whatever happens in the moonlight, when it comes into the sunlight, do you still love it as much? Right? So keep that in mind. So something that you're like, again, going back to career choice, or doing something that everybody else does, but you feel like you don't have that kind of talent. Maybe you're thinking about it, maybe you start it, now you're doing it. Are you still in love with it? Because now sunlight's starting to shine on it. Because now you got to think about creating the business and getting the tables and the accoutrements to show your jewelry or show your things. And you're investing money into this now. So now sunlight is flooding in. Is it still something you want to do? Only you know that. Again, bringing him into the kitchen. So romancing the moment. Why not? We're in the moonlight. Let's romance it with food. So for breakfast, what about a Dutch baby? That is, you can make that as plain or as fancy as you wish. It's literally crepe batter. You get your a cast iron skillet, pop it into the oven while the oven preheats. Get it super hot. Make your batter and then pour it into the really, really hot pan back into the oven, and it'll puff up, right? And it's called a Dutch baby. From there, and you can get the recipe online for a Dutch baby batter. From there, you could do something simple, just powder sugar it, done. Or you could make fresh strawberry compote on the stovetop and ladle that over the center of the Dutch baby when it comes out, and then powdered sugar it. Or you can do, you can make it savory. You can make do the Dutch baby without as much sugar, right? Make it a little more savory. But we're going for breakfast. But you can also do some sausage or bacon, sausage probably, and make that with a little bit of maple syrup or what have you, a little eggs. You maybe crack some eggs on top, put them back in the oven so they're like a sheared egg on top of your Dutch baby with the sausage. What I'm saying is the vehicle is there. Use it however you want to, right? It's a moonlit moment. Maybe it's you and a partner and you're making yourself a really nice breakfast and you collaborate on how you're going to present it, right? Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Maybe have a little glass of Prosecco or I don't know, what are they called? The champagne with orange juice, right? Mimosas with your Dutch baby, and then toast the moon. For lunch, curried lobster salad with poppadoms. So get yourself your lobster. You can buy them at the fishmonger. Ask them to steam it for you so you don't have to do that burden yourself if you feel it's a burden. If not, you want to do it yourself, fantastic. Do it yourself. Get them live and bring them home. But if they're done by the fishmonger, all you have to do is crack the shell, take the meat out, and then you turn it into a salad. So you could make a traditional one. I like to use a little curry powder in mayonnaise, and you're making it really quite lovely, right? You can add celery to it, you can add cherry tomatoes, you can add a whole bunch of stuff to your salad, however you like it. Or you could just leave it plain. But here's the fancy and the interesting part that is very much full of moon energy. Poppadoms. So poppadoms are an Indian cracker, more or less, They're made from bean. They're made from beans. It's going away from me. It'll come to me. Lentils. So papadums can be made from lentils, right? And they're flat. They're flat, and you have to cook them to eat them. You could do them in the microwave, or you could just get a very shallow pan, a pan with shallow amount of hot oil, and put them in there. And when you put them in there, they go poof, and they puff up. And then they're really delicious to serve with the lobster salad. And the whole moment of putting them into the oil and thinking they're one thing, but then they get illuminated into something else. I love it. Same thing with the Dutch baby, right? You put the pancake batter in a hot pan, it goes into the oven, and you turn the light on, you can watch it like puff up. It's so cool. So curried lobster salad with papadums for lunch. For dinner, we're gonna bring a little flame into it. We're gonna flambe. So I'm thinking bourbon shrimp flambe, and we're gonna serve that with creamy cheddar grits. So get your shrimp, saute it. You get your bourbon, right? You're sauteing your shrimp with garlic, whatever you want to saute it with. You're gonna turn the heat off, add your bourbon, turn the heat back on, and then you can ignite it with either a match or a grill lighter, and it'll go poof, right? Same thing. We're looking for that fire, that puff, that turning one thing from something into something else. And yeah, you flambe the shrimp. Just shake the pan. That flame will go out. Don't try to extinguish it with a towel. Just shake the pan. Make sure nothing around you is flammable, right? Guys, come on, be smart. And then the flame will go out after you shake the pan a little bit. But what's happening is the fire is taking all the alcohol out of the bourbon and just leaving its intense flavor, which is really going to make the shrimp from ordinary to extraordinary. And then grits are easy enough. You make those on the stove with lots of cheddar cheese, and you serve that beautiful meal like that. And if you want to do a fresh salad to go with it, that is crowning touch. And the moon, in the moonlight, these meals would look just as good in the moonlight as in the daylight, right? You'll like them just as much, whether it's nighttime or daytime. So, with all of that, please nourish yourself and nourish all those around you with your kitchen magic. And if you haven't done so, go on to achefsgrimoire.com, where the magazine is, the newest issue, the newest chapter, and check it out. Thanks. See you tomorrow.